just one of the little fake witnesses, little fake informants they used to then convict the Iraqi people to death, murder, and depleted uranium bombing campaign. Kind of like the FBI will come and tell somebody, we're going to put you in jail for a made-up crime unless you lie and say Alex Jones, sacrifices children in his basement. That's how these people operate. That's how they do it. Now, going back to the document cam, I thought I'd show you a few other articles associated with this. Look at this. Oh, that's another film there. Opposition says Syrian rebel fighters to get salaries. For 1 year, NATO and the global bankers with U.S. money, our tax money, have funded Al-Qaeda blowing up schools, blowing up military bases, blowing up police stations, and calling them peaceful protesters. Remember that? Now they admit they're funding them militarily, but saying they're going to pay their salaries. Here's another article on that front. Nations pledge millions for Syrian opposition. 70 partners, all run by the big bankers, AP reports, the U.S. chief among them, our money, to fund the rebels with weapons systems and communications, along with sanctions, to overthrow Syria. Again, just like Libya, no fan of Gaddafi, but they've now put Al-Qaeda into charge there. None of this has anything to do with liberty or freedom in this country. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the face of twisted bizarreness. Because they take these people who are low-grade morons and they build them up and say, you're going to run the globe. We're going to arrest everybody. We're going to put everybody that doesn't agree with us in psychiatric facilities. And they've got this huge banker and media funding. But despite all that, we're still exposing them and defeating them. So now they're getting more and more desperate, saying, arrest us and put us in psychiatric facilities. Arrest us. She says, the professor on screen, that you are a racist if you're not for carbon taxes, if you're not admitting global warming is man-made and real, then humans are bad. Of course, the eugenicists run the global warming movement and openly admit it's there to cut off Latin America, Asia, and Africa's funding and their own infrastructure, so billions will die. You know, most of this planet lives on less than $2 a day, right? You know that in the UN in Africa is pushing people off their land and they're starving to death. You know they're shooting people. But I'm a racist because I don't want Africa to have its infrastructure cut off, and I want Africa to be able to have power plants because I want to build Africa up. I want to empower humanity because I know what comes around goes around. I mean, that's an intellectual thing that I know you reap what you sow, karma. At a gut level, my head's screwed on straight. We're going to talk about that in a moment. So, see, I'm bad. I'm not one of these people. Climate change skepticism, a sickness that must be treated, says Professor. Global warming alarmist equates climate denial with racism. We have to be put in mental facilities because we get the emails from the UN admitting it's all a fraud and excuse to set up global taxes over everybody. But I'm not supposed to look at that because she's like, I'm a professor. I run things. Mental institutions. Drug them. And listen, it's hundreds of them. It's the UN. She's just one of them out there pushing all of this in everybody's face. So it is for that reason, and we're going to talk about this with Mark Moreno coming up, because now they got climate pushers saying we should be drugged if we don't agree. And that's part of the new vaccine you're going to get. They're saying, well, you're not going to worry about anything. You're going to be a good biological android that does what the master class, people that are mad at everybody else, says. The ultimate creepy, weird hippie who claims they're all liberal and wants to guilt you into doing what they say. No, this is a control freak on steroids. Okay, but she knows what to do. She'll get you. If there's some dark void in the universe spiraling out and possessing people with demons, let me tell you, those eyes, they say it all right there. I mean, we're talking goblin creature. But side issue, it's just like all of them. Let's go ahead and give her, this is only the fourth time I've given one of these in 8 months on air on the Nightly News. We're going to give her the coveted Skeksis Award. This only goes to people, well, that show they've got the talent that it takes to be a Skeksis leader. I mean, if you're into soul-sucking tyranny and arresting those that you disagree with and putting them in psychiatric facilities, you win the Agenda 21 Skeksis Award. And so to Professor Carrie Norgard, who loves the system, loves the state, is funded with our tax money, to her, we give her the highest award, the Skeksis Award. For you, my darling, here it is. You are the Skeksis Award winner. Let me tell you, Professor, this is prestigious. This is like getting an Oscar. I mean, and don't worry, somebody of your caliber, crazed with control freak lust, but with a tiny little brain, you are going to have, this is not just your only moment in the sun. We're going to go to break later and spend a lot of time with you, because we know you're the special people that hate humanity so much that you're carrying out the Agenda 21. Because look at her, she's like smiling. She's like, ah, green skull. Ah. I mean, you know, she's like looking into Hell's Gate. Every photo of her online is the same thing. It's just like, I mean, she realizes it's like, the planet will soon be ours. I release me, soon the light will be removed. And it's like, yeah, I was, so that's coming up. They don't like me, destroy them. So that's, no one likes me. Cut their power off. So I am a minion of the dark force. Kneel to me. Drug him. All right, I got to stop right there. Oh, yeah. Oh, that is, let me tell you, I can look right into her soul. Oh, what do I see? She's got like 50 cat boxes she's got to clean out when she gets home. Oh, that woman sees a dog. It's just like, ah! She's like freaking out right now watching this. How do I know? I don't need surveillance inside your bungalow to see all the cat droppings. I'm sorry. Staring into the abyss, one does go mad. Let me tell you, you put her face up on screen, it just sends me wild. I mean, one look into those crossed eyes. Because she's, oh yeah, I mean, she's just staring at your soul. She's like, I'll get your country. Oh, these people won't see who I am. That won't stop me. It's all night. Yeah. All right. That's enough. Yeah. Take me now to brain-eating vaccines. Let's move from something to something less horrifying. I want to be honest. I apologize to the professor. We're actually very blessed that the city, under environmental guises where I live, Austin, Texas, has seized tens of thousands of acres of people's property they made sell for pennies on the dollar, so parts of it could be built on by elitists. But then in other areas, because it's government preserves, like the Hunger Games, the citizens are not allowed. And it says the citizens even created hiking trails. That's right here. They even created hiking trails. Oh my gosh. Onto all the tens of thousands of acres stolen by the city of Austin. But don't worry, officials, they're officials, not servants. Officials say they aim to protect the Balcones Preserve, the stolen land. They aim to protect it because they've put in cameras, and I'll show you a shot of that, up. They put a big fence so the feral humans can't get into the land they took. They're getting ready to sell the hotels and stuff. And the GMO they've got ready to feed us. They've put cameras with your tax money, you little scum, up everywhere. Motion sensing to watch the feral humans. Because on these big neighborhoods, they started walking into the woods. That's even worse than in the old days, going out and taking a rabbit for your starving family under feudalism. We expose their total agenda of tyranny in a book we sell at INFOWARS.com if you want to support us. Behind the Green Mask, Agenda 21. Rosa Corey, another evil thought criminal. But right here where I live, we're just We're just dealing with these. They even, the article says, they have to all be surveilled. They even walked in the forest. Chemically lobotomized them all immediately. I want to be clear right now. Americans in tens of thousands of acres stolen by the city of Austin under a UN power grab. Of course, most of it's been given to hotels and others to build on after they stole it. They're actually walking in the woods of money that they paid for to have the land stolen. You know, the 10 cents on the dollar they paid. Thank God the city's surveilling them. Thank God they've got cameras aiming into their backyards. And thank God they're arresting and fining people that walked in the forest. Thank God they're talking about arresting people that criticize their man-made climate change, Thank God they're doing all of this, because these are good people. And without them, without the government doing this, we would not be safe. So stop. I'm going to apologize right now. I'm going to be honest. I made fun of her because I was a bad American who thought that we shouldn't go to mental institutions for not believing her. So now I bow to her right now. Oh, great ruler, supreme commander, trendy, I worship thee. I will do whatever you say. Abort children up to age 3. World government is good. Everything you say is what I must do. Look at that face. The face of a God. The face of a queen. The face of our Savior. She has full Rothschild backing. Before I get to brain-eating vaccines, I thought I should just mention, I'll cover this more on the radio tomorrow, they're talking about indicting a bunch of members of the Saints and all this for trying to hurt players of the opposite team. You might as well dig up Vince Lombardi and burn his body then, because they've always been trained to try to hurt the quarterback. This is a violent gladiatorial sport. This reminds me of Apocalypse Now, where they say, we train our soldiers to drop napalm on children, but don't write F-word on your airplane. This is all part of the criminal government always teaching us that the general public is bad and celebrities are bad, and the government is the great arbiter of power, and be afraid of the feds who are run by foreign banks. Now there's that report. Speaking of another Lombardi, Joey Lombardi was a researcher who worked on programs at the Pentagon, classified vaccine programs that aren't vaccines, that are nanotech re-engineering of the